France and the United Kingdom, two nations with a long and intertwined history, find themselves at a pivotal moment in their relationship. The historic ties that bind them, forged through centuries of cooperation and conflict, are being tested in the face of contemporary challenges. The UK's exit from the European Union has undoubtedly cast a shadow over Franco-British relations, creating both obstacles and opportunities. Yet amidst these complexities, areas of shared interest and common purpose remain. From security and defence to trade and economics, France and the UK continue to navigate the intricacies of their relationship, seeking to forge a new path for the future. The post-Brexit era has ushered in a period of uncertainty and readjustment for both nations. The UK's departure from the EU's political and economic structures has necessitated a recalibration of its relationship with France, its closest neighbour and a key player on the European stage. The two countries are now engaged in a delicate dance, seeking to define the contours of their future partnership. While differences and disagreements persist, there is a growing recognition of the need for cooperation and collaboration in an increasingly interconnected world. The challenges confronting France and the UK are manifold. The evolving security landscape in Europe, marked by the ongoing conflict in Ukraine and the rise of new threats, demands a united front. The economic fallout from Brexit, coupled with the global economic slowdown, requires innovative solutions and a commitment to free trade. And the ever-present challenge of climate change necessitates a coordinated response. In the face of these shared challenges, France and the UK have an opportunity to reaffirm their historic partnership and demonstrate their capacity for leadership on the world stage. The stakes are high and the path forward is not without its obstacles. However, by embracing dialogue, fostering mutual understanding, and focusing on areas of common ground, France and the UK can build a stronger and more resilient partnership for the 21st century. The future of their relationship will depend on their ability to navigate the complexities of the present while remaining true to the values and principles that have long united them. The UK's decision to leave the European Union has undoubtedly had a profound impact on its relationship with France. The once seamless flow of goods, services and people across the English Channel has been disrupted, replaced by a complex web of new rules and regulations. The free movement of people, a cornerstone of the EU's single market, has come to an end, creating new barriers for citizens and businesses alike. The economic impact of Brexit has been felt on both sides of the Channel, albeit to varying degrees. France, as a leading member of the EU, has been steadfast in its commitment to upholding the integrity of the single market and protecting the interests of its citizens. The negotiations between the UK and the EU on their future relationship were protracted and often acrimonious, with fishing rights, trade deals, and the Irish border proving to be particularly contentious issues. The final agreement, reached in December 2020, averted a no-deal scenario but left many issues unresolved. Despite the challenges posed by Brexit, both France and the UK have expressed a desire to maintain a close and constructive relationship. The two countries remain important economic partners with strong trade and investment ties. France is the UK's third largest export market and its fifth largest import market. The UK, in turn, is France's sixth largest export market and its seventh largest import market. In the post-Brexit era, both countries have recognised the need to diversify their trading relationships while also seeking to strengthen existing ones. Beyond economics, France and the UK share a deep and enduring cultural connection. From literature and art to fashion and cuisine, the two nations have long influenced and inspired one another. The exchange of ideas and people between France and the UK has enriched both societies and fostered a spirit of mutual understanding. In the wake of Brexit, it is more important than ever to nurture these cultural ties and to celebrate the shared heritage that binds the two nations together. France and the United Kingdom, both permanent members of the United Nations Security Council and nuclear-armed powers, bear a special responsibility for maintaining international peace and security. They share a long tradition of cooperation in the defence and security realm, dating back to the two world wars and cemented through their membership in NATO. In the face of new and evolving threats, from terrorism and cyber attacks to climate change and pandemics, the need for close Franco-British cooperation has only become more acute. The two countries have a shared interest in a stable and prosperous Europe. They recognize that their own security is inextricably linked to that of their European neighbors. France has been a driving force behind efforts to strengthen European defense cooperation, arguing that Europe must take greater responsibility for its own security in an increasingly uncertain world. The UK, despite its decision to leave the EU, remains a committed NATO ally and a key security partner for France and other European nations. France and the UK have a long history of joint military operations, from the Balkans to the Middle East. They have worked side by side in Afghanistan, Mali, and elsewhere to combat terrorism and promote stability. They are also actively involved in efforts to counter piracy and protect maritime trade routes. In recent years, France and the UK have deepened their cooperation in areas such as cybersecurity, intelligence sharing, and counter-terrorism. The two countries are also working together to address the challenges posed by climate change. They are both signatories to the Paris Agreement and have committed to reducing their greenhouse gas emissions. France and the UK are cooperating on a range of initiatives to promote clean energy, reduce pollution, and adapt to the impacts of climate change. They are also working together to provide assistance to developing countries that are particularly vulnerable to the effects of climate change. The ongoing conflict in Ukraine, sparked by Russia's invasion in February 2022, has presented a defining moment for Franco-British relations. Both countries have condemned Russia's aggression in the strongest possible terms and have provided significant military, economic, and humanitarian assistance to Ukraine. They have also been at the forefront of efforts to impose sanctions on Russia and hold its leaders accountable for their actions. The Ukraine crisis has underscored the importance of NATO as a cornerstone of European security and has highlighted the need for close cooperation between allies. France and the UK have worked closely together within NATO to provide support to Ukraine and to deter further Russian aggression. They have both deployed troops and military equipment to NATO's eastern flank as part of the alliance's enhanced forward presence. They have also provided training and equipment to the Ukrainian armed forces. The UK, in particular, has been a major supplier of weapons to Ukraine, including anti-tank missiles and other defensive systems. The Ukraine crisis has also tested the limits of European unity. France, under President Emmanuel Macron, has sought to maintain a dialogue with Russia, arguing that a diplomatic solution is ultimately the only way to end the conflict. The UK, under Prime Minister Keir Starmer, has taken a more hawkish stance, arguing that Russia must be defeated militarily before any meaningful negotiations can take place. Despite these differences in approach, France and the UK have remained united in their condemnation of Russia's actions and their support for Ukraine's sovereignty and territorial integrity. The Ukraine crisis has had a significant impact on the global economy, leading to higher energy prices, supply chain disruptions, and increased food insecurity. France and the UK have worked together to mitigate these economic consequences and to provide assistance to countries that are most affected. They have also called on Russia to end its blockade of Ukrainian ports, which has prevented the export of grain and other essential foodstuffs.